and welcome to Palindrome ASMR. This is the fidget cube. I think it makes some nice noises. I know I promised that today I would tell the story of how I met the Greek gods, but, well, I haven't decided yet whether or not I'm actually going to tell that story because it's a very interesting story, and even if I do tell it, I'm going to be leaving out quite a few. I love opening and closing these tight-fitting boxes, like the box for the Apple iPhone. It just opens and closes so gracefully. If you look closely, this is the box that the fidget cube comes in. I say that is a marketing and design success as far as I'm concerned. Just look at this. This is, I wonder how much work went into designing this. They made it. I'm going to analyze the design of this fidget cube thing. So the top is very clear because they want this right here to make an impression. And if you're wondering what this is for, that big dot is silver, that black dot means black accessories. But they went for a very modern art decor style. This black, white, and muted tones of gray interspersed is a popular design in high-end model homes. I've seen it before, and in the public image, this color scheme, well, I'm not exactly certain whether or not the color scheme changes for the fidget cube's color, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't because they had to mark it right here. And if they had to mark it right here, that means there is no other identifying marker on the box. And so this gray, black, and white color scheme is bringing forth images of modernity, of the postmodern art style, or rather, not the postmodern art style, the industrial postmodern art style. I say industrial not in its manufacturing or business sense, but more in its functionality sense. Whereas most non-industrial postmodern art lacks function, this art right here, this art has, or conjures the feeling of function, because black, gray, and white are the colors of functionality, especially gray. Gray is the color of metal. Gray is the color of concrete. Gray is the color of concrete and metal, really. And because of that, the associations with the color gray, gray is the color of office buildings. There we go. That was what I was looking for. And because of this gray color, this box can conjure images of functionality. This is a tool, so the box says, but the design of the box say this is a tool designed to work for you. And I think this was one of two design choices they could have made. One different design choice they could have made was to package this like they would package, not a toy, but like, instead of gray office building tile deco, they could have had, colorful caricatures on the side. Like, they could have marketed this not as an office toy, but they could have marketed the fidget side of it, not the cube side. See, even the cube's bigger. The cube is bigger than the fidget. They marketed here the cube of the fidget cube, and they could have marketed the fidget of the fidget cube. But I think this one, at the very least, their execution of marketing the cube as a cube was very successful. They chose to market this as a cube, in the sense that a cubicle is a cube, and that a tile is a cube, and that an office building is a collection of cubes. That is what I think about this box, and the inside is designed quite nicely. There's a little hole in there. And I don't like the fact that they had to stick this thing on. I don't like the fact that they had to stick this thing on. That ruins the effect, and so does that. That makes it seem less professional and more... They could have designed around this somehow. I can see why they did it. They have to have a different barcode for each color scheme of fidget cube, and they have to mark it somehow. But at the very least, they could have included, designed into the case of the machine, of the box, a place to put these that fit in with the style of the box, instead of just placing them over the decorations, which is what I think detracts from the appeal of the box. You know, this is a different topic. There are certain times when I learn a new word, and then for the days following me learning the word, I hear the word far more often than I heard it before. For example, about a week ago, I learned the word zeitgeist. I had heard it before, but I had not known really what it meant. I had inferred from context, and zeitgeist means the spirit of the times. And in the week after learning the word zeitgeist, I heard zeitgeist said in completely different contexts at least 5 times, which is more than I've heard the word used in the past year, or more than I've noticed the word used in the past year. And it could be on a YouTube video, on TV, by one of my teachers not affiliated with the professor who taught me the word zeitgeist. But it's kind of funny how that works, and I've noticed this happens with other words that I learn. They appear more often after I learn their meaning. Zeitgeist. It's spelled Zeitgist. That's like gist. I'm actually not entirely certain how it's spelled, even though I've seen it before. I'm not a very good spelling bee person. I can't spell my words very well. I'm not a very good speller because while I may get big idea things very well, I'm a big idea person, the small details always escape me. I am N on the Meyers-Briggs personality type indicator. There are 4 categories. There is EI, extroversion, introversion, NT, NS, intuition and sensing, TF, thinking and feeling, and JP, judging and perceiving. I am an INTJ, which is the most, or one of the most uncommon types. Less than 1% of the world's population is an INTJ. And about 0.2% of all women in the world are INTJs. But types don't always match with the same type. Like, I'm not worried about finding an INTJ partner because probably the best partner for me, or for anyone who is an INTJ, if you're watching and you're an INTJ, I think the best partner would be an ENFP, because with the extroversion, they could counterbalance your introversion and force you to meet new friends and do new things and meet new people. But the E can't be too strong, because an E that is too strong would turn you away because it would conflict with your core I. The N would have to be same as the N, intuition. You would both have to be intuitive, because then you could connect on an intuitive level. The T and the F would work very good together. There is a NF-NT pair. NFs make very good partners for NTs, because the intuitive feeling causes the intuitive thinking to become more feeling, and the intuitive thinking causes the intuitive feeling to become more thinking, and they complement each other. Also, it's very dangerous because you could go crashing and burning into an NF-NT love spiral, which is a spiral of feeling like it's a spiral of love. It's a push and pull, a tug of war between NF and NT. And if these two people let go of themselves too much, or if they are mismatched in some other way, then they go into a death spiral where their love turns into, it goes too strong. They attract each other too much, and then they don't understand each other and miss the mark. You can look this up. It's an actual phenomenon. And the P and the J. The P can... What happens when you have two J's in the same relationship is that the J's conflict with each other, because judgment is the more planning oriented. It is the applicable planning orientation, and an INTJ loves to make plans and enact plans, whereas a P would acquiesce to a J's planning. A person who is an ENFJ would have their own plans and would resent the fact that the INTJ is making plans for them, and their plans would clash. But with a P, perception stands for observation. You let things flow. When you are a P, you sort of let information flow through you instead of pushing it. You allow it to flow. Perception people allow information to flow through them, whereas judgment people control information that goes through them. And so if you have a P, they can surround the J's, the judging person's plans. And these plans the P would not be pushed away, or would not grow to resent the plans of the INTJ, because the INTJ class is called the mastermind. That is the commonly used term on websites for INTJ, the mastermind, because they always plan everything. They have a plan for everything. They are in control of everything. That is the INTJ archetype. Now, I don't know what an ENFP would be called. I do know that, so this is an interesting fact. If you take the IN or IENF, TF, and PJ distinctions and line them up 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, you will have 4 corners on the square. You will have INTJ in one corner, ENTJ on another corner. You will have I forget what the other two are, but there are 4 corners of this square. If you want to know, look it up and see the 4 corners. But the people on the 4 corners of this square are most likely to be found in leadership positions. Leadership positions are most suited to the 4 corners of the Meyers-Briggs type indicator. Now, this does not mean that all leaders come from the 4 corners, because types are not properly distributed, and like 16% of all people are, I think, ENSP or ENFP. ENTP or ENFP, one or the other. There are a couple categories that contain a disproportionate number of people. And there are also categories like INTJ that contain a disproportionately small number of people. Let's open this box more often. Now, if you have any questions, anything you want me to talk about, anything you want me to cover, or any comments about my style, my voice, my setup, anything, whether it be positive or negative, I greatly accept them. While I am affected by negative feedback, I try not to let it get to me. Like if you say my videos suck, I will be hurt. Even if you do explain in very good terms a reason why I suck, I will still be hurt, but I will take that into best consideration. and I will do my best to change. So, anything you want to talk about in the comments, I'll respond in video, because most of the time I can't post comment replies. If you want me to read your aura, because I can do, I don't expect anyone to really believe in that unless they've experienced it themselves. I don't even believe in it, really. I think it's just a interesting synesthetic phenomenon. The scientific explanation for aura reading is person synesthesia. And synesthesia, you can look it up. It is a thing. Person color synesthesia. It is a real thing that people have. And I can draw your aura and tell you what it means and what it tells about you. I can't. If you just send me an email and say, read my aura, I'll give you a high level, top down sort of, this is generally what your aura is. But if you really want me to go in depth, I can go as in depth as anyone wants me to. If you really want me to go in depth and write up like 5 pages about your aura and color in every single color that I see, make a special request, but you might not like what you are told. If you tell me to go in depth, I might reveal something, or it's the more in depth I go, the more likely it is that I'll reveal something I'll uncover something that may not flatter you. But send it to my email. It's in the description. It's in the doobly-doo description. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the box sounds. I wasn't making them very well. I was too engrossed in my own conversation, which is a little bit, I don't know. I don't like that. I hope I entertained you and relaxed you with my rambles on various thought topics. If you've watched this far, great, thank you. I'll catch you on the other side.